my invoice, and she was like, "Oh, you paid that much?" And I remember it was some girls behind me. So at that time I was like, yeah, trying to flex as if the bike cost a lot more, but it really wasn't. And then she kind of like threw all that away by saying, "Oh, it's cheap," and like she literally like just blurted it out, and I was like, "Oh, I'm flexing," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's how much I paid." What's up, everybody? It's your boy YASHIroku. I guess I can go by Yashi now. So, I think it's your boy YASHIroku is a lot better. I guess you could call me Yashi for short. But this right here is the Vader, aka the Yashisaki. That's now my brand thing. This bike I have so much history with. I don't even know where to start. I'm missing a bolt right here. That I didn't even plan for, but yeah, I gotta get another screw for that. This is the bike. I finally got to wrapping it the right way. I've had this bike for about 4 years now. I got it at 16. 3 years. It's going on 4 years. And I got this bike in 2016, around November, October. I got it in October, but I didn't really start officially riding it until the next month over because there was an issue with, the first issue I ever had with this bike was I had MCO problems. And what happened was one of the letters, I don't know if it was for this bike or another bike, one of the letters got mistaken for a G when it was supposed to be a C in the VIN. So I probably could have still registered, at least tried to, but they would have found it anyway, that it was two different bikes. So I didn't really want to like go through that. So I had to wait another, I guess, few weeks bleeding into the next month at that time to get a fifth one. And I bought this bike off of eBay. This is like the second bike that I have bought off eBay. At least at the time, it wasn't really like a lot of sites that were really selling them. I think the only site that sold them at that time was Safer Wholesale. And it's a lot of mixed reviews with Safer Wholesale, but at least from the experiences that I have, received from other people, it's kind of been okay. But overall, the internet is kind of mixed. But for the most part, Safer Wholesale, it's no different than any other vendor that sells these bikes, besides maybe, I think, Venom Motorsports. That's like a real popular one. But they're all pretty much the same for these bikes. But from my experience, I bought off eBay, so I don't really know. There was another bike that I bought off of eBay, which was a Mad Dog. It was a 50cc. I wouldn't condone anyone to get a 50cc bike. The only reason why I had got a 50cc bike at the time, I didn't have my motorcycle license. And at the time, Ruckuses and stuff like the Honda Ruckus, all stretched out and even non-stretched out, was very, very popular. This was like 2000, I believe 13, 14. It's since died down, mainly because I guess that crowd has kind of died down a lot because a lot of the guys are moving on to the Groms, and even the Groms, the whole society thing, is kind of like fading out. But at that time, I got Mad Dog, which is a Ruckus clone, stretch clone. I don't even really consider that a clone because it comes like how you have to build a Grom. Have to build a Ruckus. When you buy a Ruckus isn't stretched out already. You have to actually invest money and do that. And sometimes it can be over like $5 grand to get it how you want it with all the rims and all of that. But the Mad Dogs come like that already, so, you know, I had got that. But I bought that from an actual vendor. I got that off of eBay, but it was Bobcat Motorsports. I believe it's Bobcat Motorsports. But anyway, I'll fix it on this video anyway. But they're very legit because before I even could get the bike shipped, I had to ship back papers, waivers, and all types of things. They're very legit. But with this bike, I didn't really have to do that whole process. All I really did was send them the money, and then they shipped the bike. And then I think I got the bike 1 week, and then the MCO got mailed literally in the mail. That's one thing I don't like that they did, was they sent it through the mail, because I lose a lot of mail. So yeah, that was kind of like a thing that I didn't like, because I don't even like when bills or whatever get sent to them, because I don't get them. So all my stuff is usually electronic, but that's more personal stuff. But that was one thing that I did not like that they did, because a lot of vendors, what they do is they send it through parcel. They'll either send it through FedEx, DHL, or UPS, or whatever. They'll send it through a first class service or whatever. That was one thing that I did not like. They literally sent it through the mail. Luckily, I got both of them, because I still have the messed up MCO. I'm going to keep that forever. But the other MCO is pretty much with DMV, when you register and all that. They take all that stuff. Got it on eBay. It's the vendor was CRT Moto. So I got this bike for $1,500, and I mean, now you probably can get them well cheaper. But I mean, at the time, like, these bikes, like, you couldn't really get them a lot. Like, they were like they were, the time that I bought this bike, they were surfacing. There was like very little vendors that you can get them from, and majority of the vendors, they were selling them at very competitive prices. Because now you can probably get the same, this is the Gen 1 Vader. I believe they have 3 gens in total. I believe they have the new Street Fighter one, and then they have the mini Ducati that Boom has. Not the SSR. SSR, they're different. But they both look the same, but it's just with the Booms or the Bambito, I don't really know how to, the Baudiao, yeah, it's Baudiao. They have 3 of these gens. Well, really, they have like a whole bunch of them, but you know, that's for another time to really explain, because if you got the booklet for this bike, you'll understand what I mean. That there's other models that look like mopeds or whatever. If you guys don't know, I am from New Jersey, even though I bounce around a lot through New Jersey and New York. But I guess my main place is New Jersey. We have this approved list of motorcycles. So far, recent years, they've been very lenient about things, but I don't know if they passed the Hawk 250. That was one bike at a time that you couldn't get, because I was going to get one of them. Pretty much what I was going to decide on getting was either this bike or the Hawk. But since I found out the Hawk wasn't really legal here, at least at the time, I don't know. I've seen many people register them here, but that was an issue. And this bike barely passed. And the reason why I say it barely passed, because the manufacturer that they have for this bike is only for scooters. So technically, but this is with all Chinese bikes that are under a certain CC level. They aren't called like, they're called motorbikes, but they're not classified as motorcycles, like legitimate motorcycles. Even though they are, but they're classified as scooters. So this bike technically is a scooter, at least as it's registered, but it really isn't, because you know, you can tell by the looks of it or whatever. But to get them registered, they have to be registered under a scooter. But in New Jersey, it really doesn't matter. Now, any other place, they might have it listed as that, but in New Jersey, they pretty much, you know, they slack them all together. But since it's on the approved list that they go by, it's pretty much approved by scooters. It even says scooters, whatever. I think scooters only or something. It's actually in red, like it stands out. And it's Jiangsu Baodiao Locomotive, whatever. That's pretty much what's on the MCO and what they go by. So technically, that's what got me through. I just went with it. Once I got titled and all of that stuff, I didn't really, care at that moment. So yeah, that was my main concern at DMV, at least for here. Now other states or whatever, it varies, but for here, they're very strict with that. So take that as you will. I don't know, because right now I might be possibly in the market of getting another bike, but I kind of want to have this as more of like a play bike, my project bike. But like the main issue really with the bike right now is like the fairings and the seats. Like the seat doesn't really lock anymore. That broke a long time ago from me, doing stupid stuff and taking this off a lot. And the plastics just shake. Right now they're secure because I kind of zip tied them. I secured this the best I possibly can, but most of the tabs in here are broke. But it doesn't do a lot of, it's actually a lot stronger now than what it was before. Because before it would just shake the crap off. That's the number one thing that I would say you would want to change is the plastics. Is to get the OG Grom plastics, definitely. And they're fairly cheap too. I mean, you can get a whole set for like about $200. From at least there's a site that I know of, or you can piece it together. But just know, if you're going to piece it together, you got to get, when you get the plastics, you got to get all these little under tray pieces and stuff too. You can't just get the plastics. It's not going to sit right with this. So you pretty much have to get everything. But that's mostly with all the ground pieces, you have to pretty much get everything. But that's the number one thing that I would say you would want to change. It'll also help with the vibrations because this is rubber. You literally can hear like how hollow that is. That's the only like issue with it. I mean, you can go fairingless, but it looks nasty like that. I rode it a few times like that. I mean, it's pretty light. I mean, it really doesn't make a difference because these plastics aren't really worth that much. I mean, weigh that much. Well, worth or weight that much. The next bike that I possibly will get, or I'm thinking about getting, if I do get a 600, it might possibly be a Gixxer. I like a lot of the old school bikes, like the old school sport bikes, Yamaha, Hondas, not so much Gixxers, but Gixxer 600 might be. I know that's stereotypical stuff, but like for 600 at least, I'm not really like, I don't really want something like fast, just enough. If it's not 600 class, it probably will be like the Duke 390. That's probably the lowest I would like go. I don't really want a flat 300cc bike. Because really a 390 is really like a 377, so technically that's like a 400, technically. But it's ranked as a 300cc bike. That's the only bike that I probably would, think about getting. And especially riding alongside this. But like I said, I'm not really too much into speed. I am into speed, but I'm not into speed like that. So, it's either 600 or if I go a little bit step above this, would be probably 390. Almost 10,000 miles, which is crazy for a bike of this caliber. Because some people don't even get past like 500. So that's really true. So back to my question, is this a good first bike? If you plan to mod and you want to learn, it's big, and when I mean learn, it's not just riding. You want to learn to actually fix things and see how things work. It's no money can, you know, the money you pay for this bike with the knowledge that you gain from doing your own stuff, it covers it. So would I recommend it? It depends. You know, I don't want to be as vague, but it depends really, only for those that actually want to learn, not just riding, but also learn how to fix and do things on their own. Yeah, definitely. You know, it definitely will cover everything. So that's pretty much all I got for today. I got some more videos coming your way, so YASHIroku out.